Hello, hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to episode 126. Today's episode is all about next. But before we go there, there's something else I want to cover first. And I want to say welcome to Halloween. Halloween was a very fun event for me growing up. We'd dress up in different costumes, wear our costumes to school, step into character and growl or smile or be sweet and innocent. And I loved playing dress up when it came to Halloween. I loved going out and getting the candy or doing the events. And it's a tradition that is slowly disappearing in where I live in Canada anyways. I'm not sure where this is like in some of the other areas, but something that used to be hundreds of kids will dwindle again this year, I'm sure, from where it's been the last couple of years. But I think we've only had 10 or 20 kids recently at our home. And I miss the tradition. I don't know about you, but there's just something fun about traditions. So, is this your favorite tradition? Do you have a favorite tradition? Halloween's not my favorite. I know for some people it is their absolute favorite. I just think Halloween is fun. And I like fun. I do. I'm looking forward to the little goblins coming to the door tonight and saying hello and just giving out the candy. I just think it's fun. And we need more fun in our life. We get pigeonholed by the structure of everything that needs to be done. And today we're going to chat about the word next and how it applies to our life. I remember when I was on the dating scene and I would go on dates and sometimes in my mind I'd be like, next. I know that's pretty crappy, but we just weren't a fit at all. But it was a good coffee, good conversation. The odd time it was torturous conversation. And those were the times for sure I'm like, next. And what I mean by next is moving on to something better. Whether it's your job, whether it's your stage of life, whether it's on the dating scene, or you're looking for the right fit right now for some area. Next. Keep that word in mind today. I'm going to share a couple of different stories. But where I really associate the word next is in my career, in my professional career. Whether it's as a coach or when I'm working for somebody else. Because sometimes business owners, we have to dabble in and out, right, of corporate or of employment just because of the nature of our business. And I know my business, wow, it took some hits, it took some changes, it took some persevering, but that's not what today's topic is all about. So we're going to circle back to those days a little bit later. But if I didn't think of the word next when COVID hit, I wouldn't be where I am today sharing these podcasts. Next isn't a bad thing. Next is almost like pausing and moving for what is coming up. So, how many of you have been in a sales role? I've been in sales my whole life, sales and marketing. But sales particularly we're going to lean into, especially corporate sales, even individual sales right now. I look forward to when that person says no. When they say no, and believe me, not a lot of people are comfortable saying no, but when they say no, it's not good timing or whatever the reason is to go with it, it means next to me. Next means the next person I call is going to bring me that much closer to the yes I am looking for. And that is why I do what I do. Not to see how many no's I can get, not to see how many clients I can get, but to test my level of perseverance. There's the word. Because that's what's going to help me reach my goals in life. That's what's going to help me move on and try new things. So when you look at rejection, and it doesn't matter which form it's coming in, it feels like someone is personally rejecting you. Or it can feel like someone is personally rejecting you. Again, like the dating scene, sometimes like life, if you're in a tough spot, or sometimes even on the financial spectrum, you're like, oh my goodness, what's next, right? Like, you can't take it anymore. You're almost tempting fate by saying that. But rejection is redirection. And the reason why today's topic is all about next is to keep it lighthearted. we have a plan. We all have somewhat of a plan. We're not just waking up and doing whatever every single day. We have a plan. And if our plan means going to work each day, showing up, being the best version of ourselves, doing our very best to be that person, that is still a plan. So we can then keep our job and have a paycheck and provide for our family and do all of the things, right? Even just pay our bills. But without having that purpose, without having that will, the word next is just a word. I invite you to look at it a completely different way today. So yesterday I had a whole plan of activities I wanted to do. When I say activities, I am including moving clothes from one room to another. And I was including some paperwork on the computer and going for a walk. So I mix everything up. I call them activities. And it was almost like one thing after another, after another, after another. So like next of things I needed to do. However, my body wasn't in alignment with any of it. I had my grandson the night before, and I think he sleeps like a clock where he wants to hit every part of the clock while he's sleeping. I know there was one part of the evening where I had his feet in my hair all tangled up, and go figure, right? He's 2.5. But here's the thing. My plan yesterday, there were activities and action items I wanted to get done, and they were randomly put in my mind. They weren't written down on a particular piece of paper or an order where I could go through them. It was one of those moments where ideally I would like to do this, this, and this. And one thing I wanted to do that was not accomplished was take a nap. And after my nap, next was this, and then that. But because I didn't fall asleep to take a nap, the next didn't happen the way I wanted it to. But it still got done. Most of it. Not all of it. Most of it. And why we're talking about this today is rejection can feel like failure. Going off course, listening to your body, wanting a rest day, taking a nap, whatever it looks like, can feel so much like it's interference to our life and to our plan. But the things that we want to do are still going to happen. When I look back at what I wanted to do yesterday, there were literally 2 things I did not do. I did not move the clothes from one room to another. I did not take pictures and put them up on Marketplace. Everything else I got done. Okay? So, although things in life feel like rejection, it is redirection. And Sylvester Stallone has this amazing quote. And he says, I take rejection as someone blowing a bugle in my ear to wake me up and get going rather than to retreat. Huge. When we have days and moments that are not in alignment, or they are in alignment, but maybe not on paper, right? They're exactly where we're supposed to be, doing exactly what we're supposed to do. And we feel like we are off course. We feel like we're retreating, but we're not. And one of our biggest fears is that we have a fear of being rejected. We don't ask somebody to do something with us because we feel rejection. We don't send that resume out because we feel rejection. We don't even ask for the upgrade to the business class or to the best table at the restaurant because we don't want to be rejected. But my friends, even though there's days like yesterday, even though there's moments in this world where we are not feeling it, we want to retreat, in order to reach your goals in life, you will have to learn how to handle rejection. It's a part of life, and to overcome it, you have to become aware, same as failure, that it is only a concept in your mind. Next, right? The most successful people are not much different from you and I. They're just better at handling rejection. They're better at acknowledging the fact that a day can look different than what it was originally planned to be. Now that is something, isn't it? To have a different thought, to be able to think differently when it comes to rejection. Picture that on the way to your goals. You're probably going to have to face rejection many times, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're trying to lose weight, especially if, insert here. And here's why I say that, because it doesn't matter what it is. You're going to feel rejected. Rejected from your friends, rejected from your family for starting your own business, rejected for making the choices and the decisions that you've made. But here's the thing. Most successful people are not much different than you. They just handle rejection differently. So on the way to your goals, you will have to face some rejection at times. But just don't give up. Pause, have a day, and above it all, do not take rejection personally. It has nothing to do with you. I said earlier in this podcast, when I find out the reasons why people say no, I can learn more. And when I learn more, it's a matter of timing and prioritizing. So yes, it is a next, but I don't take it personally. So I want you to think about this scenario. If you ask someone out and he or she doesn't want to go with you, actually nothing's changed, right? You're not worse for the wear. He or she is not going out with you before, and they're not going to go out with you now. So your situation is exactly the same. What have you gained? What have you lost? So rejection, my friends, is not the problem. It's the inner dialogue after being rejected that is the problem. It's the inner dialogue I had in my head yesterday for feeling like I needed to rest my body. And I didn't get everything done. Okay, let me rephrase that. That would have been my inner dialogue. However, that wasn't my inner dialogue today. Was not my inner dialogue yesterday. Because I was thinking differently. And when we think differently, when we know that tomorrow will come, when we know that next is an option, and that next person making that contact with me could be the one person for whatever reason that I'm looking for. But when you get rejected, nothing's changed. You've learned, you've grown, but nothing has changed. So there's nothing to worry about. It's a matter of reshifting your thoughts. And that's why I threw the word next in here as the title. Next throughout the conversation. Next to help you think differently. Because with every no comes a next, which brings you so much closer to that next person that's going to say yes, no matter what it is. So go on all of those interviews. Write down everything that you want to do on your bucket list. Think of all of those people that you want to ask to do different things with and just hang out with and have fun with. Because somebody is going to say yes. So here's the thing. I know I can't do it. I know I'm not good enough. Father was right. Mother was right. I will never achieve anything in life. These are some of the dialogues that happen in your mind, or maybe even on paper, when you feel rejected. And I'm going to say them again because these are hard, heavy truths that we share to ourselves when we get rejected. I knew I couldn't do it. I know I'm not good enough. Father was right. Mother was right. I should be in business for myself. I should work for somebody else. I should be told what to do. My business isn't good enough. Whatever it is. I would never achieve anything in life. The important thing is to go on and on and on and to not even have this inner dialogue with your negative Nelly. Let that go. Because the most successful salesman's goal is to hear no 100 times a day. Because they know if they hear 100 no's, there will be some yeses. And that's what I mean by next. The more no's you get, the more next you will get, the more yeses you will get. You don't know what's coming around the corner, waiting for you after you've done your due diligence, after you have pushed forward. By now, thanks to the internet, we have so much information at our fingertips. And I'm looking at a car here from a car that Henry Ford made. And it makes me think of the story of Henry Ford, of how people thought he was crazy. But he wasn't. He just knew who he was, and he knew what he believed in. And he knew that no matter what negative no's came crossing his way, he was all for the next, because he knew solely what he believed in. When it comes to no's, when it comes to rejection, it is a numbers game. The most successful people, just like Henry Ford, just like Albert Einstein, just like the Don Juans of the world, or many of my friends, they know that if you talk to 125 people a night, eventually you're going to have someone that's going to want to have a drink with you. Others give up at hearing no 3 times, but not you, my friends. You're on a goal. Whether it's for your business, whether it's for your career, whether it's for your weight loss, you have a goal that you are working on. So next is your new favorite word. Whenever you hang up with somebody and they say no, or you meet with them in person and they say no, it's going to bring you so much closer to that yes. Because rejection is redirection. So do yourself a favor. Just be prepared to get rejected many times on your way to success. The most successful people have been rejected over and over and over again. The secret is not to give up. When somebody tells you no thanks, think next. Did you know that Sylvester Stallone's script for the movie Rocky was rejected over 70 times? 70 times. And how famous is Rocky now? Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen's Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected 130 times. And that Canfield was actually laughed at when he said he wanted to sell 1 million books. His editor told him to be lucky to sell 20,000. While the first Chicken Soup of the Soul book sold 8 million copies, the whole series was about 500 million. Even J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter was rejected 12 times. So when it comes to next, how are you going to apply that to your life? Are you going to apply that to your next workout? Are you going to apply that to today? It's early, it's bright and early, it's Monday morning. Are you going to apply that redirection and that energy into today? Well, how are you going to deal with rejection from now on? Because it's not rejection, my friends, it's redirection. And when it's redirection, you have an opportunity to learn and to focus. You have an opportunity to grow from there. And more importantly, you are given a gift. Because when you're redirected to something better, that opens up to so much more. Many of us were redirected in COVID, right? Redirected from our jobs. We redirected from the life that we found standard. And then some people it's been better and some people it's not been better. But it depends on how you look at it and what you've done with those opportunities. So, my friends, how are you going to handle life when next happens? What's next on the agenda for you? Next is my word of the day. I know today my day is pretty planned. Not every nook and cranny, which is perfect. And that is with intention. That is because I've wanted space in my calendar. But a year ago when I did that, I didn't think that was possible. And this is the power of redirection. This is the power of being able to say next and thinking differently when things don't go your way. You get fired from a job? Next. Now, I'm not saying immediately go get yourself a new job that exact same day. I'm not saying that. You need time. You need a minute or two, a hot minute to collect yourself. But I really want you to think differently with today's episode because there's many times in our life that we're going to be redirected. There's many times in our life that we're going to hear the word no. There's many times in our life that we're going to want to give up. But I want you to shake it off, put your favorite music on, do a little dance, do a little gig, get down tonight. No, I'm kidding. I can't sing. That was just meant to make you all laugh. You know, Casey and the Sunshine Band, right? Because this is a little bit of a heavier topic, and it started off with Halloween and fun, but now I'm talking about direction or rejection and redirection. But I want you to step into today with that attitude that when somebody's saying no to you, it's a matter of realigning yourself to where you want to go. There's nothing wrong with doing what you need to do between now and then. Taking a job, going on other dates, taking a slow day on your workout if your weight loss goals is what you're focusing on. All of that is perfect. Nothing is wrong with any of it. But you got to get back on that horse, because next is what's in store for you. And you don't know what that is yet until you take action today and face those no's. All right, my friends, make it a fantastic day. Today's episode is short and sweet because those are the type of attention spans we all have these days. And we will see you all next week, if not before. Make it a fantastic day, my friends, and enjoy your Halloween.